The average cost of a gallon of regular gas has plunged 19 cents over the past 2 weeks, and drivers could see even lower prices as oil price cuts continue. So here to discuss is a Bloomberg oil futures reporter, Julia Fanzeres. Thank you so much for joining us. So listen, what are some of the factors weighing into why we are seeing this drop? Because you remember, part of the blame was being put on Vladimir Putin and Putin's war. Obviously, the war is still raging. So why are we seeing the price drop?
A lot of it has to do with these recessionary fears. Now the oil market, where prices had spiked because Russia invaded the Ukraine, well, now people are afraid that the demand is going to lessen significantly if a recession comes. And that has brought crude prices plunging. And when crude prices plunge, so do gasoline prices. And that's why we have seen one of the biggest declines in gasoline prices on record. One day it decreased, the biggest drop since 2008. And that is because crude prices continue to drop below $100 a barrel.
So where are we seeing the biggest price drops, and why are those areas seeing the biggest dips?
So historically, the places where they have the cheapest gasoline are actually places where it's closer to where there are refineries. So we're seeing in Texas, Oklahoma, they are still now enjoying, again, the low gasoline prices that they once enjoyed before we saw these huge price hikes. Obviously, on the coasts, we still see higher gas prices, but the great news is that on average, gasoline prices have decreased below $5 a gallon, which is the great news for Americans. But still saying that the 4th of July, prices were still at a record high. So there is still ways to go before Americans truly stop feeling the price at the pump.
A few weeks ago, the president was proposing a federal gas tax holiday, and he was also encouraging states to do the same so, drivers could get a little bit of a break. Some states have actually experimented with their own version of that. How's that working out?
So experts say that that does not help in the long term. And that's because if you look at simple supply and demand, if the demand is still high for gas prices, but then you lower the price of it, more people are actually going to go and buy gas. And then in the long term, that's going to increase the gasoline prices. So it's not actually going to help in the long term. It would only be a Band-Aid solution in the very short term. So a lot of experts say that this is not the best way to go about that.
Right. And of course, at some point, the gas tax has to come back, and then everyone's going to have to deal with the big jump. Julia, thank you very much.
Exactly. Thank you.